Mismong chairperson ng House Justice Committee. Kasama na po natin si Batangas 2nd District Representative Jervil Luistro. Congresswoman, good morning po. Welcome back sa DZMM.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, Christian and Doris, and thank you for having me dito sa Gising, Pilipinas.
Maraming salamat po, Congresswoman. Mahingan lang po namin ang panig po ninyo dito sa i-final. Mismong si VP Sara na po ang nag-file sa Korte Suprema. Hindi na po kanyang mga kaalyado o kanyang mga taga-suporta. Siya na po mismo ang nag-file para questionin yung ating ginagawang impeachment hearing dyan sa Kamara. Ano po ang inyong reaction doon, ma'am?
Well, this is not a surprise for us. Ito anticipated talaga natin. Ang sabi ko nga, at every stage or any stage of the proceeding, there is always the possibility of the petitioner questioning the proceeding of the Justice Committee or the House of Representatives. So for us in the Justice Committee, notwithstanding that petition, so long as wala namang temporary restraining order, we will proceed to our proceeding on April 14, 22, and 29 hanggat walang temporary restraining order.
Opo.
And we maintain the position na lahat ng ginawa ng House of Representatives are constitutional and we are following the letters of the rules, the Constitution, and even the decisions of the Supreme Court.
Opo. Isa po doon sa ipinunto ni VP Sara sa kanyang petition for certiorari ay lumabag daw po sa 1-year ban rule ang i-final na mga impeachment complaint.
Hindi po ba't sila nga mismo ang nagpa-clarify na noon sa Supreme Court at clarify naman ng Supreme Court. Kaya po, Congresswoman, marami na po naguguluhan. Ano po ba talaga nangyayari? Dahil sabi, paliwanag nyo nga, pinaliwanag naman. Tapos ngayon na umaandar, eto na naman, stop muna kayo. Anong klaseng delaying tactic po ba ito, ma'am?
Well, for me, lahat ng nire-raise nila are already technicalities, no? At
Opo.
siguro, alalahanin natin, Doris, the importance of this impeachment process. Mas bigyan natin ng prioridad yung substantial right ng ating mga sambayanang Pilipino to avail of this accountability mechanism. Pag sinabi po nating accountability, ibig sabihin lahat ng tao sa gobyerno, kapag nagkaroon ng allegations ng pagkakamali, dapat may pananagutan, dapat magpapaliwanag. And this impeachment process is exclusive for impeachable officials only, no? Kaya yung sinasabi po nilang violation of 1-year ban rule, sinunod po natin ang decision ng Supreme Court. So I don't see anything wrong about the issue of violation of 1-year ban rule sapagkat very much compliant po ang naging proceedings natin with respect to the 4 impeachment complaints on how the House referred it to the Justice Committee and how the Justice Committee addressed these 4 impeachment complaints initially.
Opo. At isa pa po sa ipinupunto din ni VP Sara, ginawa niyang issue yung pagtawag po natin ng mini trial dito sa initial proceedings na parang panghihimasok daw po sa Senado naman dapat ang gagawa ng mismong trial.
Again, that mini trial was used to make a very big distinction between the proceeding between the Justice Committee and the Senate, no? Parang ano yan? Ito pong nasa Justice Committee, ang small proceeding. Yun pong malaking proceeding, yun po yung nasa Senado, no? Again, ang importante dito is what we do in the Justice Committee. It's not the name, it's not the label. And as a matter of fact, wala pa nga po tayong nauumpisahan na pagdinig dito sa Justice Committee because the first is scheduled for the hearing of the evidence of the parties, both the complainant and the respondent, will happen on April 14. Wala pa po. It should not be the label, it should not be the name. It should be the action of the Justice Committee that must be considered in judging whether we are encroaching upon the power that is exclusive to the Senate.
Bakit nga po, ma'am, hindi na lang idiretso, irekta na natin doon sa Senado? Para wala
Because
ng mga
Doris,
Opo.
merong mandato sa atin ang rules of impeachment to determine the existence of probable cause
Ayun.
before we transmit this to the plenary and by the plenary to the Senate, no? Ang sabi ko nga in the past interviews, kung walang hearing proper, kung walang clarificatory hearing, if we will not issue subpoena, Doris,
Oo.
ano kaya ang magiging basehan ng justice members in determining the existence of probable cause? Hindi naman pwedeng manghula lang, di ba? You will remember, meron tayong mga prosesong napagdaanan na. One is form, second is substance, third is ground. Why do we need this hearing proper? Why do we need this clarificatory hearing? Because at the end of this hearing, which is akin to the preliminary investigation, as distinguished from the trial in the Senate, the justice members will vote. Ang pagbobotohan nila ay kung may probable cause ba o wala, because this will be the test on whether we will transmit this to the plenary and whether the plenary will upon its own deliberation will also transmit this to the Senate. Eh kung wala kaming ganito na pagdinig, kung hindi namin titingnan ng ebidensya, kung hindi namin itetest at i-challenge yung allegations ng complaints, anong magiging basehan in determining probable cause?
Oo.
And more so, Doris,
Oo.
you will remember, ito yung hiniling nila dun sa first impeachment during the 19th Congress, na declare as a matter of fact na unconstitutional dahil hindi nabigyan ng pagkakataon ang respondent na sumagot. Dahil hindi na-examine ang mga ebidensya. Dahil hindi nabigyan ng pagkakataon ang mga members na aralin ang impeachment complaint. All these things are happening now in the Justice Committee. You remember, binigyan natin ng time to file answer ang Vice Presidente, no? And even when she refused to address in her answer the allegations of the offenses like confidential fund, threat, and unexplained wealth, we manifested before the Justice Committee that any time of the proceeding of the Justice Committee, the Vice President is free to attend. We will in fact welcome her and present her evidence. Ibig sabihin, lahat ng opportunity to be heard ay ibinibigay natin sa kanila. Because we are following the decision of the Supreme Court, which was penned after the first impeachment complaint. I mean, with respect to the first impeachment complaint, ito yung tinatawag lagi ng mga lawyers na Duterte versus House of Representatives, jurisprudence, no?
Okay.
Na ang gusto ng Supreme Court, bigyan ng pagkakataon sumagot. So, we gave that opportunity to the Vice President. Pag-aralan ng ebidensya. That is the reason why we are holding this hearing proper. Bigyan ng opportunity ang justice members na basahin ang complaint at pag-aralan din ang ebidensya. And that is the very reason kung bakit may hearing proper tayo.
Opo.
And to add to that, Doris, no,
Opo. Yes, ma'am.
maliwanag to sa rules of impeachment under Section 7 and Section 8. At ito ay matagal nang sinusunod in the past impeachment processes. This is not new.
Okay.
Ito po'y matagal na. Matagal nang sinusunod ng House of Representatives sa mga nagdaang proseso ng impeachment, no? Nakakapag-ala-ala lang, Doris, no, sapagkat this is an accountability mechanism given to the sovereign Filipino people, no? It seems to us na we are being attacked on technical rules na nakakalimutan na nila yung substance ng impeachment process, no?
Oo.
Lahat ng kawani ng gobyerno ay dapat may pananagutan sa taong bayan. At nagkataon that the Vice President is part of the impeachable officials and this is the proper avenue. Let us remember also, paano ba ito inilarawan sa past impeachment processes? This is not purely legal. Ang sabi ng Supreme Court decisions, this is legal, constitutional, and political na ibinigay ang mandato sa Kongreso. Now, we are tasked to realize this mandate.
At walang
no?
makakabali niyan.
Because ito'y kapangyarihan ng sambayan ng Pilipino. That's how I understand it. That's how we give value to this impeachment process, no? So I hope that instead of focusing on the technicalities, why not instead answer the allegations in the complaint?
Apo. Next week, ma'am, ang ating next schedule ng hearing at inaasahan po na a-attend si Ginoong Ramil Madriaga. Ano po ang inilatag natin na safety measures or protocols para po masiguro yung kanyang seguridad being transferred from Camp Bagong Diwa to House and vice versa?
Well, Christian, naalala mo nung last hearing, we issued an order already sa tanggapan ng Sergeant at Arms. Inutusan na din natin na sila na makipag-coordinate sa BJMP, and they coordinated. They were ordered to coordinate also with the court who has jurisdiction over Ramil Madriaga para maisigurado natin yung kanyang safety. Safety, that is included, yung kanyang pagbiyahe simula sa kanyang detention facility papunta sa house. So I hope all of these safety measures will be realized. So we will still coordinate with the Office of the Sergeant at Arms kung ano na yung mga safety protocols na ginagawa nila with respect to Ramil.
Yes, ma'am. Bukod po kay Madriaga, meron pa po ba kaming maaasahan na kumbaga ay bombshell na testimonya o attend o pag-appear doon sa hearing?
Well, you will remember, Doris, kasama sa sinapina natin ang COA,
Apo?
the Commission on Audit, that will be with respect to the documents pertaining to the allegation of misuse ng confidential fund. No, we hope to hear also, sapagkat naririnig natin yung from the other camp na pending pa ito, so gusto din nating malaman ano na bang status nitong mga appeal with respect to the 73 million of the OVP and of the DepEd at yung 500 million na naririnig din natin. Question na wala pa daw finality yung mga decision, no? So we will be asking about the status of these concerns with COA, and also nasabpina din natin ang NBI, that is with regards to their investigation about the alleged threat committed by the Vice President against the President, the First Lady, and the former Speaker. We also subpoenaed the Ombudsman to bring the SALN of the Vice President, no? And even the head of archives of the Legislative Department of the House of Representatives. That is with respect to the records na prenesenta sa good government during the investigation of confidential fund of both the OVP and the DepEd. You will remember this during the 19th Congress,
Apo.
the one presided by Congressman Joel Chua.
Opo. And speaking of Ombudsman, Congresswoman, mayroon ding statement si Ombudsman Remulla nitong nakaraan na hinihingi din niya in return naman yung SALN ng mga congressman in relation naman doon sa ginagawa nilang investigation sa flood control projects. Would you be willing to submit your SALN to the Ombudsman, ma'am?
Well, we will defer to the leadership, at narinig ko naman si Sec Gen Cheloy Garafil na she will be complying, and even the leadership is supportive of this.
So walang problema naman.
Wala pong problema yon.
All right. Paano, gusto ko lang malaman, ma'am, pagka April, ano nga yung
14.
hearing ulit? 14.
Yung next hearing.
Oo, paano po ang pagsasalansan nung mga kaso na uunahin ninyo o sunod na lang yan o pangatlo na lang yan? Paano po ang proseso?
Well, so long, Doris, so long as ready na yung mga witnesses, daladala nila yung mga evidence na ni-require ng Justice Committee, we will be allowing them to present the evidence. And we will be allowing all the members to proceed to raising clarificatory questions, no?
Opo.
Raising clarificatory questions, meaning it will depend on the evidence which will be presented kung anong magiging tanong, kung ano pang malabo para sa mga justice members. And then kagaya ng napag-usapan natin, the lawyers of both parties, in fact, not only the lawyers of the respondents, even the lawyers of the complainants, may submit the questions which possibly will not be covered by the clarificatory questions of the justice members, at pwede ko naman yung basahin for the witnesses or the resource persons to answer their questions. So
pero
this is
hindi sila-
also one way of
Opo.
providing due process to them. Kasi naririnig mo, Kino-complain nila, hindi daw sila makaka-participate.
Yun nga,
Again, because
ma'am.
this is preliminary investigation.
Oo. So talagang...
Ito pong estadong ito
Oo.
ng proceeding ng Justice Committee, as we have been comparing it, is tantamount to a preliminary investigation. And we will remember, itong preliminary investigation na ito, ang may active participation talaga ay ang mga piskal. And in this case, the justice members are the prosecutors, no? They are testing whether based on the allegations of offenses and the evidence presented in support thereof, meron na bang sapat na probable cause, no? So, hindi po partisan dito, justice members. That's what I wanted to clarify.
Okay.
Hindi po, wala po kaming pinapanigan dito. We are impartial, we are independent. At least, this is the standard, no? We are supposed to be the prosecutors, the investigators who will judge on the existence of probable cause, no? Kaya ito pong ginagawa namin pagsabina, pagdinig, pagtatanong sa mga testigo, these are measures for us to determine, meron bang basihan ang impeachment complaint? May sapat bang probable cause? Tama ba na i-transmit ito sa plenaryo?
Ayun.
So, we are actually discharging a function of a prosecutor or an investigator.
Apo,
Looking
apo.
forward on
So-
Tuesday,
So
April
wala
14.
ma'am, para sa inyo walang puwang yung hindi naman pagwawala, kung hindi pagrereklamo na naman ng kabilang kampo na hindi ako binigyan ng tamang proseso.
Proseso, due process.
Hindi ako binigyan ng pagkakataon na makapagsalita. Abogado ko lang, bakit gusto kong magsalita eh. So hindi po 'yun. Sumusunod lang kayo doon sa tamang proseso, ma'am.
Correct. And as a matter of fact, Doris, kahit sa 14, kahit sa 22, kahit sa 29, they can come and submit their evidence. Kaya lang, sundin natin yung rules, no? The vice president must come para siya mismo principally yung nagsasubmit ng evidence. Otherwise, pwede siguro isubmit na lang ng mga lawyers. Pero yung participation doon sa deliberation, let us follow the rules. Ang nakalagay sa rules, it should be the justice members, but in response to the requirement of due process, which we have been amply following, sobra-sobra na nga ang aming pagsunod. Kahit ang nakalagay sa rules, justice members, hinilala pa rin namin ang participation na hinihingi ng lawyers ng Vice President by allowing them to submit questions, which we will be reading to the witness for them to answer. No?
Okay.
Isinama pa rin namin yan sa aming napagkasunduan na magiging guidelines namin in holding this hearing proper or clarificatory hearing.
Alright. So, maraming good luck, ma'am,
Apo,
sa pagdinig ninyo.
Martes yan, April 14. Congresswoman, maraming salamat
Thank you,
po.
ma'am.
Thank you, and good morning sa inyong lahat.
Good
Ingat
morning
po kayo.
Si Batangas 2nd District Representative Jervel Ruisto, ang chairperson din ng House Committee on Justice. 8:03 na mga kapamilya.